Did you know one of the simplest yet most effective survival hacks for cold weather comes from the battlefields of World War II? It's a forgotten trick that soldiers used to prevent frostbite in the brutal winters of Europe, and it's something you can still use today. Stick around because this knowledge could literally save your feet, or even your life. Imagine being a soldier during the Battle of the Bulge. The temperature is well below freezing, snow is everywhere, and you're stuck in a foxhole for days on end. Your standard-issue leather boots, while tough, aren't exactly waterproof or insulated by modern standards. Once your feet get wet, from snow melting or from sweat, the danger becomes real. Wet feet lose heat 25 times faster than dry feet. This is the fast track to frostbite, a condition where your skin and underlying tissues freeze. In the worst cases, it leads to tissue death and amputation. For soldiers, losing the ability to walk wasn't just an injury, it was often a death sentence. The official gear issued to soldiers included wool socks, which are great at insulating even when damp. But in extreme, prolonged cold, even wool socks can become saturated and overwhelmed. Soldiers needed a better solution, something to keep the moisture out and the warmth in. They needed a vapor barrier, and they found one in the most unexpected of places. So what was this revolutionary, life-saving piece of gear? It wasn't some high-tech invention from a secret lab. It was something far more mundane, something you probably have in your kitchen right now. Wax paper. That's right, the same stuff your grandma used to wrap sandwiches. Soldiers discovered that by wrapping their dry-socked feet in wax paper before putting on their boots, they created an effective waterproof barrier. Here's how it worked. The soldier would put on a thin, dry pair of socks first. This is the wicking layer. Its job is to pull sweat away from the skin. Then, they would carefully wrap their entire foot, socks and all, in a layer of wax paper. After that, they'd put on a second, thicker pair of insulating socks like their wool ones over the wax paper. Finally, they'd slide their feet into their boots. This simple, multi-layer system was a game changer. The science behind it is surprisingly sound. The wax paper acts as a vapor barrier liner, or VBL. It does two critical things. First, it stops external moisture, like melting snow or water, from reaching the inner sock and the skin. Your feet stay dry from the outside. Second, and this is the clever part, it stops sweat from your feet from soaking your outer insulating sock. Now you might be thinking, wait, won't my feet just get soaked in their own sweat? And yes, they will get damp. The inner sock will become moist because the sweat has nowhere to go. But here's the key. Your own body heat will warm up that trapped moisture. You're essentially creating a personal, warm, humid microclimate around your foot. Because this moisture is trapped close to your skin and kept warm, it doesn't chill you the way it would if it's soaked into your thick outer sock and boot. The outer insulating sock remains dry and retains its full insulating power, keeping the cold from the ground and air from getting in. It is a classic case of, it's better to be warm and wet than cold and wet. The soldiers who used this trick found that while their feet might have felt a bit clammy, they stayed remarkably warm. This simple hack drastically reduced the number of frostbite and trench foot cases among those who knew about it. It was a piece of battlefield wisdom passed from veteran to rookie, a low-tech solution to a high-stakes problem. So, how can you apply this forgotten WW2 hack today? You probably don't have wax paper just lying around on a hiking trip, but the principle of the vapor barrier liner remains one of the most effective techniques for cold weather foot care. Modern outdoors enthusiasts and mountaineers use a more durable version of this same idea. Instead of wax paper, they use thin plastic bags, the kind you get from the grocery store. Bread bags, or even simple thin trash bags can work perfectly. The method is exactly the same as the one used by the soldiers. First, put on a thin liner sock. This can be made of a synthetic material like polypropylene or a thin wool. This is your comfort and wicking layer. Next, slide your foot into the plastic bag. Make sure it's smooth against your foot and ankle, without any major wrinkles that could cause chafing. Then pull on your main insulating sock, usually a thick wool or synthetic blend over the plastic bag. Finally, put on your boot. This system is perfect for situations where you know your feet are going to get wet, either from the outside environment or from your own sweat during high exertion activities. Think about winter hiking, snowshoeing, ice fishing, or even just shoveling the driveway for hours in leaky boots. It's especially useful if you're stuck in a survival situation, or if your expensive waterproof boots have failed you. It's important to know when and how to use this technique properly. Vapor barriers are for when you're active or when you're sleeping in the cold. Think of the VBL as a specialized tool. You use it when you're generating heat during the day to keep your insulation dry. At night, you switch to a different system, focusing on dry warmth. This technique isn't just for your feet either. The same principle can be applied to your hands using plastic or nitrile gloves as a liner inside your mittens. It can even be used for your core body, with VBL shirts and pants designed for extreme cold expeditions. But the most accessible and often most critical application is for your feet. What started as a desperate measure using wax paper in the trenches of World War II has evolved, but the core concept remains unchanged. It's a testament to the ingenuity of people in extreme circumstances. They didn't have Gore-Tex or advanced synthetic fabrics. They used what they had to survive, and in doing so, they perfected a technique that is still taught and used by survival experts today. So next time you're gearing up for a cold weather adventure, remember the forgotten boot hack of W. Twang. Throw a couple of plastic bags in your pack. They weigh nothing, take up no space, and could be the one thing that keeps you safe and warm when conditions turn nasty. It is a piece of history that is as practical today as it was 80 years ago. Simple, effective, and proven in the toughest conditions imaginable. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this piece of historical survival knowledge useful. If you did, give this video a like and consider subscribing for more content that blends history with practical skills. Stay safe and stay warm out there.